Tom, you and the Chargers selected Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern in the first round of the 2021 NFL draft. What will he bring to this Chargers offensive line?
He's going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of athletic ability, some strength, some power, and a good football mind. So, we're excited about Rashaan. He's been coached the right way, high school and college. He's a very very polished player at the college level. I mean, there's a lot he'll still have to learn at this level, but he must be a quick learner. We're excited. He's going to bring a lot to the group. It was an area of the team we're trying to improve, and we think we've done that so far between the offseason, free agency, and now the draft, and we'll see how the rest of the draft goes. But we're really excited to add him to the football team, and we just can't wait to get him in here in a couple weeks for minicamp.
In your pre-draft presser, you mentioned a couple qualities that you look for when it comes to evaluating tackles. You mentioned some of them right there: athletic ability, strength, football intelligence. How does he really check those boxes for you?
Well, I think that one of the biggest things is that he's a great fit for what we want to run on offense. So he's very quick, very athletic, and a lot of our run game is going to be based on having to reach and run and get players, which needs a lot of movement involved in that, whether it's running out to a linebacker or trying to cut off a defensive end. So he has all those traits that's going to fit very well. And he can also, when he was at Northwestern, had a lot of straight drop back pass pros, which you'll see a lot more at this level. And he played against really good caliber players in the Big Ten for 3 years. So he saw a good competition. He was coached very well by Pat Fitzgerald and their whole staff at Northwestern. So, he can bring some different facets to our offense. Now he's a rookie. He's got a lot to know. And the offensive line work is, a lot of his technique. It's a technique-based position. It just takes a lot of repetition, a lot of work. So he's going to have some work to do in front of him. But he has all the tools and the traits that we're looking for to be a really good player at that position.
So many veterans on this offensive line. So how does that benefit him as a rookie coming in now?
Well, all these veterans have gone through what he's gone through. Whether you're Brian Bulaga, who was a first-round pick, or Corey Linsley, who was a middle-round pick, even Matt Filer, who was undrafted. So they've all kind of gone through this. You come in the league as a young offensive lineman, and every week you're facing a big-time pass rusher and big-time NFL players week after week after week. So they've been through that. And like I said, this is a big technique and coaching position. It just takes time and effort and repetition. But he has all those qualities. He wants to be coached. He's got great work ethic and drive and determination to be a great player. So he's got a bright future ahead of him.
He opted out of the 2020 season, but what was that evaluation process like, and how much did you really rely on your scouting staff to maybe fill in some of those holes there?
Yeah, it actually doesn't matter if you opt out or opt in. The scouting staff has to do a lot of work on every single player, just trying to figure out everything about them on the field and off the field, how they're going to fit. So, he was no different than the other players. Obviously, we had a little less film to look at this past year, but he was a 3-year starter at Northwestern, so we had plenty to look at. And then do all the work that we can do. But the scouting staff this year in general, because they weren't able to travel as much as they usually do. So a lot of work was from home. A lot of work was by Zoom. A lot of work was by the phone. And we still got to the point where, as we start the draft today, we had all the information we usually have, maybe even a little bit more in certain areas. So they did a great job preparing us for this.
How high is his ceiling?
Who knows? I'm definitely not going to put a ceiling on it right here and tell you, hey, this is where he can and can't go. So, and honestly, we'll just see how it pans out. We think he's a really good football player. That's why we took him in the first round. And the work he puts into it is how far he'll go. And I can't see him not putting the work in. He's got great drive and work ethic. So we'll just see how far he can take it.
And then lastly, Tom, you got a guy in a green room. You're back in the draft room. He's out here in Cleveland. What were the reactions like when you got to make that phone call?
It was great. It was great. It was just great for us being all together in the draft room. It's been a long year. Last year's draft was unique. It was interesting, but it's just not what we're used to because we're all on a team and we're not playing, but we're still all on the same team and working together. And this is a lot of work over a lot of months that we're all meeting with each other and discussing things. So, to be able to enjoy where you get a chance to select a player that you're really excited about and to do that with everybody, it's a great feeling. And obviously for Rashaan, this is a lifelong dream of his that comes true. And, he hasn't played football in a year. So he's been waiting a long time for this, a long time to get back on the practice field, a long time to get back on the game field. So he should be fresh, right? He should be fresh and ready to go. So he's been waiting a long time for this, and his dreams come true, and he'll be coming out to LA.
Congratulations, Tom, and best of luck in the rest of the draft.
Great. Thanks, Haley.